Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out chapters 36 and 37 of Season 2 of Tower of God. And when I tell you that I'm incredibly excited for the story we're about to get into, I need you to fully understand where I'm coming from. Because we finished off officially the previous story, and now we are moving on to this workshop battle thing that's happening. I just know that I'm really excited, okay? I don't really know all the details yet, except that this is a place where people compete to get special items and what have you. And more importantly, all of our characters are going to be in the same place at the same time, and I think that that's what I'm the most excited about, okay? We got to see like a tiny bit of Shibitsu, like there, not just a voice. He was there, and we got to see him in the panel. I can't explain how happy I am. Even though there was some other stuff going on in that chapter with like Jinsung and Karaka, which I remember, still freaks me out. But we gotta put it on the back burner for right now because we're getting the gang back together and I'm so incredibly excited. I can't wait to see all the characters, see where they're at, how they've changed. I mean, we've had some outfit changes and we've had some power level increases now that they're on like the 30th floor or something. So I just want to catch up with everybody. I want to see them all together again in the same place. I want to see what happens when Bomb sees them. I want to see what happens when his new team meets the old team, seeing some of the overlap with different characters. I just need this moment, okay? This is what I've been waiting for the entire second season, and I'm so incredibly excited. So I don't know when we're gonna get to all of that, if we're gonna have a bit of a detour as we progress to that moment, but I have that to look forward to. So let's get into chapter 36 and see where we're starting off with this new part of the story. Okay, chapter 36 looks like we're going back a little bit to when we had Hong Sung talking about Bomb's training and the threatening of the friends. It makes me so sad that it's like the piece of paper where they had to collect their friend list. Like, it's such an innocent thing, and then to have used against you like in this very threatening and dark manner, right? Don't pretend to be friendly. I don't trust them. I didn't trust them to begin with, but definitely not now. After the last chapter, It's just like seeing Bomb like so small in the panel that he's like just taking up this tiny corner surrounded by darkness makes me so sad because he's so broken in this moment. He doesn't want any of those things. I guess strength, but probably not in the way that they're thinking. They're probably thinking he wants to be strong in the way that they kind of think of it. Like they said power. Earlier on, he said, we can give you power. And I feel like when he says strong, that's kind of where they're coming from, is someone who is in charge, powerful, has that sense of authority to them. And I think what Bomb means is he just doesn't want to be hurt again, in whatever that means. And specifically in this context, I think it's more of an emotional thing. He wants to get stronger, like on an emotional side of things, but I think also it's like stronger in yourself, right? Like being more sure of yourself and having a more solid understanding of who you are, because I feel like a lot of the time the reason that we get so hurt by people, I don't know, doing something that inadvertently hurts us or intentionally hurts us, or going, following their own motivations that for some reason doesn't include us, a lot of it comes from us not feeling very strong in our understanding of ourselves and who we are and being okay with who we are. And I think especially with Bomb, who was so reliant on Rachel, like so much of who he was motivated by being with her, helping her, having her by his side. That was like the only world he could conceptualize, was a world in which he was just with her, and like whatever she was doing, whatever she was trying to accomplish, he was just going to be there to support her. And he doesn't have anything now because she's gone. She's left him. She's decided she does not want him with her. So now he has to build himself, right? He has to become his own person that doesn't involve her because she doesn't want him to be around her. So it's this need to be strong, not so much in like the physical power sense, but in the like as an individual sense, unless I'm just spouting nonsense, which could also be possible. That too. He's not good at goodbyes. Don't cry though, because if you cry, I'm gonna cry. I can already feel my eyes watering up. We gotta move on. I've already cried during this season. I'm not doing it again, though maybe that'll happen. For you who've for the ones who have already read this season, you may have a better idea about whether or not I'm gonna cry again than I do. The Slayer. Okay, but like whenever I see someone called the Slayer, I just think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I know is completely different from what we're dealing with, but I've also been rewatching it, so that might be on me. He is very different. Uruk is very like over the top. There's like a showmanship to him, Whereas Bomb's just kind of unassuming and just wants to like get it done. Oh, that too. I guess he doesn't seem like a monster. I said like unassuming, and I think that that's part of it too, where they're like, you know, if he was a monster, right? They're saying like, oh, he's just an ordinary person. He's not scary like some of the other ones. I think he is. I think it's just unassuming, right? Like you don't expect it from him. And I talked about that a little bit when there were the rumors about who Violet was, and there was like that really big scary looking guy that was pretending to be Violet, and everyone like assumed that that was correct because it fit with like these stories that they had heard about how dangerous Violet was. And then when they actually saw who he was, they like had a hard time believing it because Bomb doesn't fit into that image that people have in their head, that like the person who looks like this is the person who has done this. So I don't think it's if he was a monster. I think it's whether or not he plays the part of a monster. I think it's there. Like we've had people talk before about how scary Bomb actually is when they had to go up against him, or they had even an idea of the kind of thing he's capable of, where you've just seen people get really like uncomfortable by being around him. Even some of the more powerful people that we've seen in the tower so far are just like, hang on a second, and called him a monster. So I think it's a matter of like him not having that showmanship, him not outwardly portraying a monster and not wanting to intimidate people that way. Like I said, he just wants to get it done. You know, if you're in his way, he's just gonna find a way to get past you. If you're not in his way, none of his business, you know? It's also like seeing him at his worst point, right? Like Jin Sung is seeing Bomb at like the lowest he's ever been, where he's very vulnerable and crippled in the sense of like emotionally and connection wise. Like he's isolated and he doesn't have the capability of being strong in any way. He just doesn't have it in him anymore. He's been torn down too much to be able to summon anything that can make him pull himself together and be able to deal with this. So I think that's also part of it too, is like it's not Bomb at like his most terrifying that he can be. We're getting a whole training montage. Interesting. Okay, so this is going into the stuff that we've seen Bomb do before, but like an actual explanation. I feel like I'm a little bit more prepared for this because I've read comments where people have kept me on track about what's going on. I can see the like motion lines the next panel, and I'm like not prepared for what it's gonna be until it explodes. That is not what we saw Bomb do. Not to a person anyway. I think we've seen him do it to like other people's attacks though, and like items and stuff, but he's not done it to a person. That's terrifying though. Like you could just use the piercing technique to transfer a shock of Shinsu within their body and then vibrate it until they explode. I don't want to think about that too much. It puts me on edge, especially knowing that like Foog knows how to do that, that Jin Sung knows how to do it. No, I don't want to contemplate that one. Sorry, it's just like him saying, you'll have to train for years to be able to do it safely. I'm like, $10 says Bomb figures it out in a couple of tries, at most. I mean, yeah, that's like kind of what we've seen him do, right? Like I said before, he's used it in a way to like counter attacks, as opposed to like an offensive thing, which I think is what Jin Sung is trying to teach. And then Bomb's just like, I'm gonna do it a different way. Do not explode him. I know he's not going to, because this is in the past, but I swear, you better not be attempting in any capacity to explode him. No! What did I say? I'm gonna come through there, don't think I won't. Creeped out about attacking someone? I mean, yeah. Bomb is a little unnerving, isn't he? I don't know. Especially since he doesn't talk now. He doesn't have like the sweet, innocent thing going on that he had in season 1. He's a little off-putting now. I'm sorry, we did what? I remember us learning about him killing off his entire family because a girl was sold to them. Like, I'm assuming the head of the family. And you were like, what? The whole family has to? I mean, look. Should we be selling and buying people? No. But was the entire family part of that? It just seems like a lot. Again, selling and buying people bad. Killing off an entire family because someone did a bad thing, also bad. I don't think anger is a good excuse either. I'm not used to seeing Hansung in a different outfit. It's throwing me off a little bit. I mean, it's a good question, right? Like, the question was, do you think Bomb can make their dream come true? I don't know about that. I don't know if he can make Foog's ultimate wish or mission or whatever come true, because I feel like Bomb isn't really part of the group. He's just a tool that's being manipulated at this point. Like, is the result gonna be what Foog wants? I don't know. I don't think so either. I'm kind of, look, I don't want to agree with Jin Sung. He's currently not someone I want to agree with or see any kind of connection. Okay, I've refused to empathize, but I kind of see where he's coming from. Yeah, this is definitely not the right path for him. I mean, there's the whole kind of destiny thing going on though too. I don't know, maybe we just haven't, the path hasn't gotten to the right turn yet for it to be the right path. Always there with the sassiness. I appreciate it though. She's also Fook. I also haven't entirely forgiven her for the time we met her at the beginning and she was like, let me attack people without any kind of hesitation. Okay, I remember. I don't forget easily or forgive easily, but I like that she always has the sassy moment. Oof, the shadow of her eyes though. I don't know if you want that comparison. Made him stand up though. She's quite good at manipulating people's feelings, isn't she? I don't feel about that one either. Ooh, interesting thing to say, like, a slayer is their god, right? They're relying on this person to make their wish come true, which is the same thing that we've had with going up the tower and jihad and stuff like that. It's a similar dynamic, albeit at like a smaller scale. And that's kind of the thing too, is like if you have a god and there's another god that challenges that existence of the god, you can take this onto like more of a metaphorical level. But if you have the god that you believe in, and it's a singular god, and then someone else believes in a god that also is like challenging the existence of who is like the actual like god, if you're having something that is like a singular god belief system, then that's where conflict comes from, right? It's that idea that one god has to dethrone the other so that you can have that singular god within power. There's always little bits of like theology mixed in, and I find that fascinating. And it is kind of like an answer to the question of like, why do you want to kill Jihad so much? And it's, you know, her saying like it's not like one specific thing. It's everyone has their own reasons, but at the end of the day, it means that there's this kind of worship for whoever is capable of getting rid of Jihad, right? There's this feeling of, it's almost like praying to someone because you want your wish to come true. You have this thing that you want to obtain, and the only way to do that is to rely on a slayer. And because of that, they become a kind of god in your eyes, or at least within like how you're currently functioning in your desires and your dreams and your wishes and stuff like that. I never really thought of it that way, but it's a very interesting take on that dynamic, because we've had now Bam being seen as a god and kind of worshipped by some of them, and then you have like the other side of like Jin Sung, who's like, this is just a tool, this is just a weapon that we're using. So you have these two perspectives on what a slayer is. Oh, you'll definitely change your mind. Hang Sung knows that Bam is more of a monster than he appears. Wait for it. I bet because we had the like rock creature rebuild that Bam's like figured out the power already. That's my prediction of how this is gonna end. He's gonna see how quickly he figured it out. I like how she's saying like he looked bored, but like in a way she figured out how to like push him just the right way to motivate him. And I said a similar thing with the way that she was interacting with Yoon in the last couple of chapters, where she's very good at manipulating people's feelings and like digging into that and connecting it with their like goals and stuff like that. And I don't know how to feel about it because I don't know what the motivation is. You know, like it's something that could be very productive and positive and could, you know, help motivate people in a positive way, but it could also be very sinister. And I'm not sure her ultimate goal of like how she's using it, which I think is what makes me uncomfortable. Oh yeah. Bam will be fine. Just wait and see. He's on his feet. He's already figured it out. Don't worry so much. Believe me. Learning people's techniques from just watching them do it once, kind of his thing. Oof, okay. Didn't figure it out at first. Just like I said, couple of tries. Still, progress, he'll figure it out. Just give him a second. He's not a miracle worker, but he'll figure it out. Didn't he say he forgot? Did you break the promise? Sir, he was about to figure it out. Okay, but I feel like this is mostly just him needing an outlet for his anger since we revisited some unpleasant memories. Ooh, this parallel though, of like Bam looking up, but like more light on his face, you know, more rounded eyes, more open expression. There's like a feeling of like innocence and youth and stuff to him. And then having Jin Sung looking down, dark, lots of shadows. I was thinking before about like the parallels between them. Again, people we don't necessarily want to be connected to, compared to, but I feel like there is some similarities because we have the little bit that we've seen of Jin Sung's flashback of wanting to protect a specific person and feeling like he's failed in some way. And then you have Bam, similar motivation with Rachel, right? Someone that he wanted to protect and failed in some capacity, like not only when he was separated from her, but then also with her deciding to continue up the tower without him. So some similarities in their stories. Hopefully some differences in the way that they deal with it. That's all I'm hoping for. I guess he sees some potential though, because we had Bam actually figuring out some of the piercing technique in one try. So like potential is there. Become a god, though. That's a heavy weight to carry. Okay, let's see how the next chapter pans out, I guess. 77th floor. Who are we with? Weren't we on the 30th? That's the thing, it's the highest we've gotten. Quant! I should have known from, like, the immediate rage that it would have been Quant that we were with. What's up, everybody? This is where we are. We kind of left you. I like how there's, like, the little cards, and it's just jobless. He did tell you not to follow him. I feel like this is, like, I'd have to look back, but isn't this, like, the same shot from the previous end of season 1 when Quant decided, well, sort of chose to go with Rome? Still, I think it says a lot that it took them 6 years to get to the 77th floor. Like, even for them, that took a while. What'd you find, Quant? Oh, we found games. Kun, though. As in, Kun family? Do they have games? He looks so happy, though. Okay, nobody ruined this for him. He just seems so overjoyed. Extra floor. A suspicious game center. Yes, I agree. Just in the middle of the forest, and they haven't seen anybody, and there's a random game center. That's a red flag if I've ever seen one. But like I said, don't ruin it for him. Quant seems so excited to be here. Oh, the lights are off too? Yeah, you run, maybe? Maybe run. Who's Blueberry? I actually feel like I know that name though. Especially since the Kun family has that whole blue thing. Yeah, I was like, isn't the tiny one Blueberry? Didn't we see a tiny Kun before? Or possibly, I mean, it looks, look, I see like bluish white hair. I just assume it's a Kun at this point. Oh no, was Blueberry the guy that was that showed up at the end with the one test with Lady Yuri? Wasn't that his name? The Kun that was with our Kun in the lighthouse. Wasn't that Blueberry? Look, I'm getting the Kuns mixed up in my head already. There's like 3 of them. 4 of them, I guess? Kun's sister? Anyway, wasn't that him? Didn't he have the like game, like the handheld though, was like part of his ability, so it kind of makes sense that he would have a game center. Your dream is to own a game center? That's, I mean, sure, you could have picked somewhere with a little bit better location for that. I guess like the 77th floor wouldn't have a lot of people though. That's really high in my brain. I'm like, you'd have to go through a lot to be able to get that far. Like we saw a bunch of people on the 20th floor because it was kind of a bottleneck part where a lot of people didn't end up passing the test that was there. I don't know if you should play the game. Seems suspicious. I feel like there's gonna be some kind of catch. Put the pieces together. Come on, Quant, you can do this. I believe in you. Why do I feel like they're playing like Street Fighter or something? Oof. 10 rounds. Yeah, this definitely feels like giving me Street Fighter vibes. I love the shrug and like the face. Don't put a wager on it. Don't do it. Quant, deep breath. Critical thinking skills. We do not want to make a wager on a game. You've just lost 10 rounds in a row, and it's a Kun. Don't make a wager. The row. It's just like reel them in, okay? Why is there a crab? Yeah, I'm gonna need somebody to explain that one to me. I'm assuming we're losing now, significantly. Have we won anything? No? Your whole Quant. I'm feeling like Larora right now. I'm just like, what are you doing? What was the plan? Don't say you're willing to risk your life. Don't put your life into this. We're not wagering your life. Don't do it. See, that little fate said the wrong thing, Quant. He's gonna take you at your word. God. It's the wagering his life, asking if he likes shooting games, and then the flat look in his eyes. Yeah, y'all should have run when you walked into a like arcade without any lights on and in a plane. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm like, I don't know if I trust that. This is a bad idea. It's not a game really anymore. It's more than a game. I mean, at least we have a license. Good. We're not just walking into a plane and expecting to fly it. But also, he spends a lot of time alone, and I feel like he's probably pretty good at this whole plane flying thing. Or at least whatever game this is gonna end up being. Because why propose a game that he doesn't think he's gonna win? You're definitely actually flying. Like how Laroro's just hair, like, what am I even watching? Just stuck in the chaos of Quant playing games. Yeah, that was my question too. Because I was like, maybe they're both in planes, and I was like, maybe they're not both in planes, because we haven't seen him. I was gonna call it a Death Star, and then the little note on the side. Yeah, it's also giving me HAL vibes, but on a Death Star scale. Both are things I would not want to be near. Use the Force. That seems to work out. Yeah, I'm assuming flying directly at it with the plane wasn't a good idea. Like, he's like, beat him up for me. He's like, no. I have places I'm trying to get to. Are we just gonna fight then? Could be an option. Oh, see, figured it out. I mean, weren't they looking for that? So I sort of got where they needed to be, just not in the most conventional sense. That's true. Lororo does have a lighthouse and some information gathering skills. And he wasn't doing anything while you were busy gaming, so opportunity. Qua's just in the background like, yeah, beat him up. Ooh, wow. It is both cool and scary. I guess we didn't really see any of his actual abilities before because he kind of shut down Kuhn's lighthouse before pretty quickly. Interrupted before they could fight. I was just like, hang on, I gotta take a phone call. Just kind of awkwardly standing there like, hey, remember us? I think it was just like, I need to give this to somebody else. Why, how convenient. 2 people right here that can do this so I don't have to. Which regular though? I like how Qua's just like, you were supposed to avenge me. What a chaotic yet fun chapter. I feel like those were 2 very different vibes to the chapters. We start off with something a lot more heavy and dark with some backstory about mostly I think like Jin-sung and him meeting Bam, which we didn't get to see before that. It was really just a glimpse of him when Hansung was talking to Bam, and then like more current events of them working together where they've known each other for a little while, and Bam has trained with Jin-sung for a while. So seeing that first impression and getting a little bit of a backstory for him and his first impressions of Bam and the expectations that he had and why he sees Bam a little bit differently than some of the other irregulars that he's encountered. So far more like heavier and more dense in terms of character and kind of setting up that relationship a little bit more. And then getting like the chaotic, more bright energy of the second chapter where it was just Quan's chaotic energy taking over, and honestly I missed it. He's such a little ball of energy and rage, and seeing that contrast with Lororo, who's always very like self-disciplined and was just kind of there for the ride, figuring things out in the background because he had his suspicions. And obviously getting back into the people that were with Lady Yuri, we've had some little mentions of her with like Uruk up to this point, but then actually connecting with characters that are directly connected to her and kind of having some of the pieces move back together, right? Because we haven't seen Lororo yet and his journey after the end of season 1. So I liked getting that like contrast, you know, some lightness, some fun that was kind of happening in this little like bonus floor that was happening where they just got to have some fun with, you know, the story and the characters and this whole plot of like the games and stuff like that. So getting those 2 sides, I think, as we're transitioning into some of the other stuff that is going to be going on with, you know, the workshop battles and all of that kind of stuff. So a bit of a pause and everything. I didn't know if we were going to jump in to that story yet because it is quite a few floors to go before they actually get there. So I don't know how much story we're going to get in the meantime, but I mean, I always love the 2 sides of the story where we can have these more like serious character driven moments and then these more like chaotic comedy things that are also going on. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so you miss next time, so you don't miss the next time I post a Tower of God reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!